I've been feeling lost, pissed, disappointed, whatever. I'm going to marry my Jane Doe. This year we'll be 7 together. Honestly, I never seen the signs because I was really in love and so convinced she was the one. I know wedding planning seems stressful, but it's a given, right? I'm actually chill and just wanted to make Jane happy. I'm funding like 80% of the wedding, and I told her that I wanted it to be as special as possible for her. The conflict started when Jane's 2 cousins dropped out to being her bridesmaids. I was WTF mode and Jane was crying every other day. I thought they were pretty close because they grew up together. I asked why, and Jane didn't really explain except calling them names and insulting them all the time. By the 3rd week of constant crying, being confused and slightly pissed off, I called one of the cousins and confronted her. I wasn't saying mean shit, just wanted to know what's up. I came to find out that Jane asked her to take care of random things and asked if she could not wear makeup or something. I didn't find it a big deal and basically called her cousin out for lack of family loyalty, LOL. She didn't want to give me all the details because, truthfully, I wasn't being a good listener. I felt like they wronged Jane for petty-ass reasons. Jane filled the 2 roles with her coworkers, so it's been fine. 2 weeks ago, her cousin's family threw a big, last summer BBQ before some of the younger cousins went back to school. Everyone is invited. There's like 7 families. Jane kept changing her mind if she wanted to go or not. I wanted her to stay home because I know it's going to be awkward. Jane agreed and said she was planning something else with her friends to make it look like she's already busy. She lied and showed up to the BBQ to fight. I was at the theater at the time. When it was over, I had a lot of messages and missed calls from like 10 different people. I called Jane first and she was crying and told me to buy some cupcakes to bring to her. I didn't question, just went with it and tried to make her feel better. From the constant crying and in between words, it seemed like she made it out that her family is against her. When she knocked out that night, I read the rest of my texts and I got a different story. Her oldest cousin said to me that he felt sorry for me being a doormat and wished me well. I play games with him every weekend, so his message kinda hit me hard. I called him to ask why he said that, and I was given a whole shit list about Jane. I guess everyone has their own personal problems with Jane, and it boiled down to her being selfish and inconsiderate all the time. He kept saying it's a single-child behavior. On that call, the same cousin I confronted joined in to tell me all the tasks Jane wanted her to do during the wedding, which is to drive our dog 45-60 mins to the venue for the ceremony, and drive back to drop her off, to rent a U-Haul to pick up all the centerpieces from a vendor, to figure out a makeshift photo booth so we can save money. Jane also asked her to throw a super fancy engagement party and expecting her to pay for everything. Jane was also controlling how she wanted her bridal party to look and singling out that cousin to not wear makeup. The second cousin who dropped out had other dumb tasks asked by Jane and basically said no thank you too. They ended the call telling me to reconsider where I stand in the relationship because I never get anything to myself, and they felt so bad for me. Ever since that, I really noticed how shitty Jane was to me, and I'll list some examples. I never get to pick anything to watch together. Whenever we watch something, it's her interest. This is the same for restaurants. I'm not a picky eater, so I coughed it up to being open for anything, but for my 30th birthday, I wanted to go to a hibachi restaurant and she convinced me not to, because the smoke will make her smell. She keeps calling our dog her dog. I pay for all the vet fees. I've been using all my time off to prioritize her family on holidays. When we had to visit my parents for July 4th, I could barely start up the grill before she wanted me to leave to see her family, and then expects me to BBQ for her family. For our wedding, I really wanted beer to be served, but she called it trashy. It was the only one request I really wanted. I feel like I can go on forever, and I just realized how selfish she is. She never gave, and that is the same for everyone around her too. She only reaches out if she needs something from them. I'm really trying to find some positives, and the only thing that made me happy is when she threw a surprise birthday party for me in my 20s, but that's it? I don't know. I'm questioning everything because all I look is just her. The apartment is decorated for her. She chose our dog's name. She has everything she wants, but I don't have anything for me. I keep thinking of the word doormat, and I really am. I've been acting off this past weeks, and she doesn't even care. She keeps talking about herself and the wedding and her day and her friends. She never really asks about me. I feel so sad and stupid. Wife and I rarely have sex. Been together for 19 years. Married for 17. In the last 6 months, we have had sex twice, most recently in May. She has shot down my advances repeatedly. Today was my birthday. I was stunned when she came out in a black teddy and actually initiated. However, after some kissing, no tongue, she shut down. She turned off all the lights in our bedroom so it was nearly pitch black other than the TV. She told me I was not allowed to look at or touch her vagina. Well, this just shut down my desire to have sex immediately. When I asked her what she expected us to do if I can't look at or touch her vagina, she said she could do just stuff to me, again in complete darkness. Also, she hates giving blowjobs and does this thing where she opens up her mouth up really wide so no lips or tongue touch me. It almost seems impossible, but I feel nothing. I know she has body image issues. She's beautiful, thin, petite, and I tell her this frequently. However, in her words, she's not toned like her friends who don't work and spend all day exercising or using their husband's money for Botox. Tonight, I just told her I would wait until she got comfortable again with her body, and I would do whatever she needed to make her ready to have sex again. A similar incident played out in June. I'm not sure what else to do. I've encouraged to go on walks with me to help her feel better about her body. Again, she's not fat, just complains that she's not toned. When I suggest this, I get yelled at. Every compliment is met with a, "That's not true." Every physical act of love is met with a cold shoulder. In addition to being the breadwinner, I cook dinner, clean the house, and do all laundry. I'm at a loss with her. Anything else I should do? We've had a dead bedroom for so long, around 6 times a year is average over the last, 5 years? I've kind of lost my desire to try anymore. I nearly died from a heart attack 2 years ago, and I thought she may be more attentive to my sexual needs given how close she came to being a widow. She even said as much when I was in ICU, but those words were quickly forgotten. I don't know. What would you tell a husband in my situation? Keep in mind that I've gotten to the point where I don't really want to put much effort in either at this point. Way too much rejection. To get through my day, I just think of her as my female roommate. It really helps my mindset so I don't get too upset over how lonely I am. It's nice to have a roommate friend that I get along with where sex isn't even part of the equation. Should that just be the mindset going forward? I shall see you. Here.